Good evening, I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Ellen McNamara. Today was a time for tears and sharing memories in Clinton, Missouri. Family and friends gathered for the funerals of Sandra Sutton and her 17-year-old son, Zachary. They were found murdered last week. The suspect in that crime, James Horn, was shot and killed by police in an abandoned home over the weekend.
Tonight, we have in-depth coverage of this tragic case, starting with KCTV5's Jonathan Carter, who's live in Clinton tonight on what had to be a very, very emotional day. Jonathan?
It really was, Brad. And you know, today was about togetherness for the family and friends of Sandra and Zachary Sutton here at Clinton Christian Church. They leaned on each other as they remembered and said goodbye to two people they loved dearly. As the caskets of Sandra Sutton and her 17-year-old son Zachary are brought out of the Clinton Christian Church following their funeral this afternoon, Pastor David Dubovich talked about the one reason the family is holding it together.
Their faith is very strong. In the midst of everything that has happened with all of the events that have happened, taken place in their family, their faith has not let them.
I just wanted to be here for her sister and her family because my daughter, I knew them also, and so I just felt that I needed to be here for them.
One of those people impacted is Sharon Nold, who knew Sandra and who also knows family support makes all the difference at a time like this.
Oh yes, yes it does. I think probably anytime there's a death, if your friends and family show up, that just means the world to the family.
Brent Dutton was Zachary's classmate. He and members of his ROTC class presented the colors at the service. He reflected on losing a friend.
He was funny. He was a funny guy. He always had a smile on his face. He was laughing. He always told jokes. He was just a good person. For something to get thrown away like that is demoralizing.
Zachary had just finished his junior year of high school, and in a touching gesture during the funeral, the pastor presented the family with an honorary diploma from Clinton High School for Zach. Live in Clinton, Jonathan Carter, KCTV5 News.
Thanks, Jonathan. The man who took the Suttons' lives will never stand trial. James Horn was shot and killed by Pettis County deputies when he refused to surrender. KCTV5's Bonnie Lee continues now our in-depth coverage with new details about that final confrontation.
Crime scene tape is still keeping people away from this abandoned house, which belongs to the Missouri Department of Conservation. Conservation officials say the inside is still too bloody to show.
Pettis County Sheriff Kevin Bond was the first to respond after two of his deputies shot and killed James Horn Saturday morning at this abandoned house in the Kern Memorial Conservation Area.
This was the first location that we searched and we found him.
Bond says that morning, Horn allegedly broke into a car at this home just a mile from his hideout. He stole hamburger buns and a comforter, both of which were found inside the abandoned house. And weeks before, investigators say Horn also broke into this church just down the street, where he took an electric griddle and a radio.
I firmly believe that he walked here from where he dumped the car.
So far, investigators think he acted alone while on the run, but they're keeping an open mind to the fact that someone may have given him an occasional ride or dropped off survival supplies. But it was Horn's past that led authorities to Green Ridge, Missouri, just inside Johnson County.
When James Horn was going to high school, he lived right here.
Okay.
And so then it began kind of sinking in and coming together that he was going home.
The deputies who shot and killed Horn are on paid administrative leave, both veterans of the force Bond calls good Christian men. In Johnson County, Missouri, Bonnie Lee, KCTV5 News.
We've learned that Horn was buried today in Sedalia. The investigation into the case, though, remains ongoing.